So it's time to work on the yellow GT a little bit more today. We need to get a bunch of the stuff disconnected from the front of the car so that we can pull out the K-member and get the whole front of that car ready to come off. So first thing I need to do is come out here and jack the car up, get it off the ground, and put it on some jack stands. And if I put the jack stands, where they should be on the frame rails of the unibody, then the car can essentially sit here and it will be able to just sit like that as if it was just sitting on stands, and the whole front of the car can come off, and then I can work on it that way. So here we have the brake lines need to be coming out, so I started to unbolt those, and then down here we need to go in for the ABS sensor. And if we get the ABS sensor off, the whole harness will come out and that can stay with the car. Here's the bracket for the ABS sensor on the other side as well. And this is the bracket bolt that holds the brake lines to the side of the frame rail of the car. Get that all off, and this whole assembly can come out and actually be disconnected completely and put aside. And so here's the top of the sway bar bolts. The sway bar needs to be disconnected. There's the brake lines there. But yeah, sway bar links, get those all off. And then now we need to go in here for the K-member bolts, which are these big bolts here. We're going to drop the whole K-member off the car and roll it away with the wheels on it. There's the back K-member bolts there. It's actually not too involved. You just have to get those big parts out and then take the struts out here. So struts are out, going after those bigger K-member bolts, and you can see them up here in the wheel well area. Very nice to have a good view to work with while I'm out here, so I'm very happy about that. Now I need to take the hydroboost lines out, disconnect them so that they can come off with the front of the car and the power steering pumps and this cooler that's in the front, and it goes in with all the power steering and everything. So it's nice to have this as reference so I know where to put it back. But these lines go down into the K-member onto the power steering rack, and then the other one goes up to the power steering pump and to the hydroboost and everything. So those need to be disconnected. Look at this beautiful silver metallic on the silver GT. It looks really good with this headlamp. My brother gave me this really nice Milwaukee headlamp, and it's really nice of him to have given me that because it just makes working at night just like working in the day. It is so nice to have. So time to drop this K-member down, and this is it's just like what you do when you do headers on the car. Usually you'd have to have the engine suspended, and with a engine picker or a bar that goes from strut tower to strut tower. But this is basically dropping the K-member and everything's disconnected, and now it's just a matter of wrestling it and rolling it away. Now the wheels are going to be moving all different ways because they're no longer connected by the strut, but getting this all out of here was a real big improvement on the project. I was really excited about this. I did struggle to get it out there. I eventually did have my family come out and help hold the wheels straight, and we rolled it away. So that worked out nicely, and here it is over with nothing underneath it and ready to cut the front of this car off. Here's the K-member. I just rolled it over here to the grass for the meantime because I didn't want any of the power steering lines or anything to leak on the driveway. But hey, check that out. Mustang's looking good. So having a good night doing this, having fun in the garage, listening to music, just having a good time. The silver GT obviously an inspiration because I did a lot of this to the silver car to get it to be where it is just recently. But now we're ready to get this all taken care of, and I'll put the K-member aside and get covers for all the lines. I put zip ties and bags over all of the power steering openings and brake lines and stuff, and so here's just a little shot of the garage hanging out. It's really fun to be here at night. One thing I did as well to the car that I haven't mentioned is I did get this fuel door, and I got the paint off it. I ended up wet sanding it to get it off, tried a bunch of things. But anyway, that's the update for the zinc yellow Mustang GT. Still have more to come. Going to be cutting the front of this car off and drilling out the spot welds and getting it ready to have basically the firewall back is all that's going to be left on the car, so I can add the whole front end. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more Mustang content.